We're live. Welcome to another episode of Chappy Hour. I'm your host, Chloë Chapdelaine, and I am so thrilled to be here for 2025. Thank you, everybody, for listening so far. Today we are on with Colby, and you all know Colby because she had one of the most listened to episodes of the last season of Chappy Hour. And so welcome.
Hey.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who listened in 2024. I just want to say starting a podcast in 2024 was one of my favorite things that I did of the entire year. All because of you guys. Honestly, I had so much fun doing it with my friends and guests who were on the show, but hearing from you guys who are listening and building this community has been so much fun. And I know that I didn't get episodes out for the second half of 2024, and that's because I was in Greece. I've been in Greece for the last 3 months, and before that, I was getting married, and it's been a really chaotic, busy year for me, but I am back for 2025, and I actually just finally upgraded my microphone, so that means I am no longer using a counterfeit microphone from some kid off of Facebook Marketplace.
Ooh.
So I'm back for good, and I just wanted to put that out there. But if you are still listening, which hopefully you are, everybody raise your drink and cheers! Welcome to Chappy Hour. It's kind of like happy hour, but with me, Chloë Chapdelaine, where I catch up with a friend over drinks. It doesn't need to be 5 o'clock to join, so grab your favorite drink, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Cheers.
Fuck yeah.
That's a beautiful sound. Today on the episode, Colby and I are drinking one of my favorite drinks, Diet Dr. Pepper. No, Dr. Pepper Zero. It's the same thing as Diet Dr. Pepper. I think they phased out Diet Dr. Pepper.
I don't know, but you got me hooked because I was a Coke Zero girly and still love Coke Zero to this day. But I had one of these at your place and I was like, no.
It's so good.
I buy it every day now. Well, not every day, but
I was a Diet Coke girl too, but then I don't know, something about Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero, they're like pretty much the exact same thing. I love them. They are just like the best ever. But okay, I got a Soda Stream for Christmas.
One that actually works this time?
Yeah, okay, I actually had a Soda Stream before, and when I would try to use it, it would like explode. Like, first of all, it would make like a fart sound, but then it would like spray water in every direction, and it just didn't work. But I got one that actually works like properly. But, okay, I used to use this drink additive that was called Diet Dr. Pete, which is like the Soda Stream brand of Diet Dr. Pepper. And it was great. It was fine. It was good. But I went to go and buy it, and they've discontinued it in Canada. So I literally was like looking into if I could buy it in the States. But I learned that you can buy, I think they call it a bib, which is like a giant box of Diet Dr. Pepper or Dr. Pepper Zero syrup, like that you can add to your own Soda Stream. But it's like $160. But I'm desperate. So do I buy it or no?
Pull the trigger, man. Or get them to sponsor you.
That's what I want. I actually looked up Dr. Pepper's like customer service email, and I was going to see if like they can ship to Canada because I would be sporting that every single day. I would drink nothing but Diet Dr. Pepper every day for the rest of my life.
She'll do the advertisements for free.
Literally. So, Dr. Pepper, if you're listening to this, I love you. Anyways, let's get started on this episode. Colby, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. It's actually a nice day out today. Cleaned my car for the first time in like forever because my friend made me feel really embarrassed about having a dirty car on the outside, by the way.
Nice. That's such a satisfying feeling when you clean your car.
I know, watching all that grime drip off.
I know. Okay, I was expecting it to be super cold when I got back because like I thought it'd just be minus 30. It's like +5.
I think we've had, since like you've been away, we've had like maybe one cold spell and nothing since then.
It feels weird. Climate change. But yeah, cleaning your car. I need to do that so desperately. One time I didn't clean my car for a long time. Well, I had like left on a trip and I left my van just like sitting in someone's driveway. And when I got back, guess what? There were mice living in it.
Chloe.
Yeah, no, it was actually horrible. There was like mouse poop everywhere and I had to like deep clean it and like got everything. They had made a nest in the trunk of my car.
Like the one we sleep in the summertime?
I've cleaned it really
Bro.
well. I've cleaned it really well, aired it out, everything. I like had to throw away the blanket that the mice had burrowed through because there was like a blanket in the back.
Thank God you threw it away.
Yeah. No, actually, that's the blanket that we sleep in because my van has a bed in the back. No.
I was gonna,
It's
I was gonna
all
be like,
good.
you can go on those road trips by
No,
yourself.
no more mice are living in my van. I was actually so nervous coming back from Greece that I was going to find more mice, but I made sure like not a single thing of food was left in the car, no crumbs on the ground because
Well, where did that bag of popcorn come from then?
I think it came from a few days ago when I was like, the first day. Had my car, had to put a bag of popcorn in there. It's the best snack ever. But let's get started on the actual topics of the podcast. We're back with the I'll Take a Double section, which is where we start off strong with a life hack. And both of us have a life hack here to share today. And I have one that has to do with really cold weather, which we haven't been doing. But if we get cold weather, I just want to share this one life hack because I think it might be able to make you so you can heat up your car a little bit faster. Okay, so you know how like you turn on the heat in your car and you let it run?
If it's outside, yeah.
If it's out, oh yeah, I don't have a garage. So yeah, I have to like let my car run a little bit until like the motor is warm and then it kind of like heats up the inside of the car. Apparently, if you set the blowing wind setting, that's probably not the correct terms, but you set the blower setting. So it's blowing at your windshield and then you flip down your visors, you know, like the sun visors, it'll like circulate the air against your windshield faster.
Sun
So if
visors.
you know, like the flipper down thing, like when you're driving, it flips from the ceiling.
Okay, yeah.
So you flip those down and then it'll circulate the air that's blowing up from your like windshield from like the very front of it faster. So it'll like defrost your windshield faster than if you just had it blowing on the windshield.
Is this like theory tested?
I tried it once.
Did it work?
Yeah, it did. It did. I felt like it was a little bit faster, so I thought I would share.
Okay, you have to time it next time.
Oh, like how long it would take?
Yeah, like do both scenarios and like time it and see if it actually is a proven theory.
Okay, I think I will. Also, if you're listening and you have different weather than we have here, you time it and you tell me, send me a message and tell me if it works for you because I think it works. But what's your life hack?
Okay, so I know a lot of creators probably listen to this, and this is something I have found out recently since getting into video, and I feel like not everyone actually knows this unless you're like a skilled videographer, cinematographer, or whatever. But if you're shooting on your camera in log, you want your ISO base to be at least 800, if not higher. Because if it's lower than 800, you actually get more of a grainy effect on the video, which is so weird because normally when you take photos and you bring your ISO up, that's when the grain comes.
That's so interesting.
Right?
I'm just learning this. I don't really do video, so.
Yeah, I thought that was like so cool.
How did you learn that?
When I was in Mexico and I was part of the media team for my friend's launch of her event / birthday, one of our mutuals, he was the videographer for it, and that's what he said because like I told him I was getting into video and I was like shooting stuff and he's like, oh, did you know? And I was like, oh, didn't, thank you. Plus
That's amazing. But moving into the daily special part of our podcast, this is where we talk about what's trending, what we're seeing, what's going on in our lives, or what we're seeing going on in general. And there's a lot that's trending, a lot of big topics that we need to talk about. Why don't we start light? Let's just talk straight up about trends. We're moving into 2025. I know this episode is getting released halfway through January, but there are lots of trends that are being forecasted for the next year. And some of them I don't know how to feel about. Others I'm in full support of, like huge, like I'm pumped about them. But are there any trends that you see coming into 2025 or that you saw in 2024 and maybe you don't want to continue?
For me, I would definitely say, okay, so my friend's predicting this because she's like a little like fashion girly. Shout out to her. But one thing that she's predicting for fashion trends this year is the boho chic coming back.
Really?
Yeah, so like lace and like the big belts and like buckles and all of that.
Like almost like indie, like.
Yeah, like, you know, Coachella, like 2016 Coachella type vibes?
Yeah.
That.
Really?
You know what? I'm kind of here for it, honestly.
I could 100% see you pulling that off.
But like, I'm like, yeah, I could totally vibe with that, especially living in Alberta now. Like, you know, like a lace skirt with like cowboy boots and like a cute little like, I don't know, top of some sort. But I could definitely see it coming back and I'm fully here for it coming back. But it's odd with trends, clothing trends, is how things from like back then were like so cool, and then they became not cool, and now they're becoming cool again. Like, you know, like low-rise jeans.
Yeah.
I fuck with those so much more than high-waisted. I put on a pair of high-waisted jeans the other day, and I was like, get off my body.
It's so funny because I've talked about low-rise jeans on this podcast before, but before, when I had first talked about them, I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. Like, I kind of like it, but I still love my high-rise jeans. No, I've fully made the switch. Like, I can say that's like a huge clothing change I've made from my like 2023, 2024 style to 2025.
Yeah.
I'm going for low-rise.
Yeah, like mid to low rise. I mean, I only have, I think, one pair that actually is mid to low rise. I really need to get rid of all my high-waisted shit.
Okay, on the topic of trends, I want to talk about the 2025 Pinterest prediction trends. Do you use Pinterest?
I do, religiously.
What do you use it for?
Ooh, I always do it for like my my mood board for the year, like my vision boards for the year. And then if I'm doing photo shoots, I love for that. If I'm going on vacation and I want like, you know, photo inspo or outfit inspo, I'll use it for that as well. Tattoos. I also have like a wedding one too, but I'm not even in a relationship right now. So that one will come along eventually.
That is so funny. I use Pinterest the same way. Like, I've got a board for everything. Outfits. I had a wedding board before I was even in a relationship too. I think that's just something that girls do. But every year, Pinterest has been releasing their like forecasted trends of the year.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, like based on their previous data. And there are some forecasted trends for this year that I think are kind of interesting. The very first one is castlecore. So think like Victorian style, like, I don't know, like maybe ball gowny, like big, luxurious. How do you feel about this?
You mean for like design and like, decor, or like how people are dressing?
I think it's like how people are dressing, but maybe also like house influences and like how you're designing your house.
I could pop off with the whole like aesthetic, but like if I saw people down the street walking in a freaking ball gown at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, I'd be like, what? Where are we going and what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
But I could totally get on board with like the aesthetic for like how you like design a room or a hotel or stuff like that. Like, I've stayed at a hotel in like Toronto that it was very like, I don't want to say necessarily like Victorian style, but it literally gave me like castle vibes. And like it was just a very like cool, aesthetic, pleasing looking place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is one that I really am excited for personally. I mean, I feel like you won't, but I am. But it's the fisherman aesthetic. So like think of a fisherman. Okay, so like think like cable knit sweaters or like, I don't know, stuff that's like striped tops or like sardine tattoos and like gumboots, you know, like rubber boots. I don't know, like that whole vibe. Like think of like what an old grandpa would wear to go fishing, like down.
Oh, bro, that's
in
my head right now, and I'm like, Chloe, no.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my look, my vibe. I love it. I have like a collection of hats that have fishes on them, and so now it's like this is the perfect time to be wearing that. I've got like 5 different hats that have fish on them.
Oh my God.
And like I enjoy dressing like a grandpa. I don't know why.
I mean, like, yeah, my style is very much, I think in the winter at least, it's like grandpa sweater with every occasion. And then, or honestly, I've been really vibing and dressing like a hot soccer mom lately. I don't know why.
It's such a vibe. It's
Bro,
such a vibe.
I know.
Like put on some like tight athletic wear and like throw your hair in a ponytail or, you know, but like make yourself feel hot, but like put together.
Yeah, like I threw a bra on with this outfit actually last week, and I was like, damn, my girls look good today. And I haven't worn a bra since probably high school.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I'm pretty anti-bra as well. I just wear like nipple stickers if I need to. Like, you know, like the like silicone.
Yeah.
That's all I like.
Free the nip.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Okay, so if we're saying bras are out, what are some of the things that you think are going to be out in 2025?
Oh.
I'll share one that I have.
Yeah.
I think that bows were really, really big in 2024.
See, I never did that.
I know. I didn't really do anything with bows too, but I saw it everywhere. It was on every Pinterest board. I saw people.
My girlfriend did it too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it burned too brightly, too fast. I think that's not the right saying, but you know what I'm saying.
Sequence needs to still leave.
To leave? Why?
Yeah, no. I'm not a vibe with like sequence. Like my friend liked it, and to me, it's just like, I think like you know, like rhinestones on outfits are fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like those like full ass like sequin things, I don't know. Maybe it's just because every time I've tried something on, I look stupid. But like to me, it's just like, yeah. And yeah, I think high-waisted jeans are like fully gonna be gone.
Yeah, I feel like sequins, here's where I can get behind them. If you're going to a club or like if you're going to like, I don't know, a fancy bar,
Mm-hmm.
I say go with the sequins. I'm in support. But if you are going anywhere that's not got blasting music with a DJ playing and like 20-year-olds, I feel like that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
If you like sequins, again, wear them. Same with like high-waisted pants and everything like that. Like if you like it and you feel good in it, continue to wear it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear it. Like if you love it, keep doing it. Like obviously me, I love my fisherman aesthetic. You don't. Like I'm gonna wear it. You don't have to.
Yeah. The other one I have and I've noticed is people going back to their natural hair color.
That's a huge one.
Yeah.
That is such a big one.
Yeah.
And you know, okay, I've heard a lot of conversation about this recently, going back to your natural hair color. And so many women, I think, or just people in general, were convinced that their natural hair color is bad. Like instead of calling your hair light brown, they've been calling it mousy brown, like mousy.
Yeah, to me that's just like interesting though. I could understand like when it gives more of like a grayish tint to the brown. To me that's like mousy brown then. But just like a light brown is not mousy.
But
for me, like I was a blonde for 5 years. Worst decision of my entire life. Could I pull it off? Yes. Did my hair love me? Absolutely not. But going back, I went back to my natural hair color, like darker than what my natural hair color is, but still back to the brown.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think 3 years ago now.
Okay.
And it's the best decision I ever made. Like I have just like leveled up in my appearance ever since going back.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it just also makes you look more mature. Like when I see Asians who are like blonde or have like the blonde highlights, balayage, whatever it is, and then I see them go back to the like dark, almost black or black color, and I'm just like, oh, like I'm gonna have a little crush on you with this new hair color, like, you know?
Yeah, I've actually started to go back to my natural color too. Like I haven't highlighted it in probably over a year. And like, I don't know, it's funny. Like I was saying, some people who had dirty blonde hair were told it was dishwater blonde. But now it's gone from dishwater blonde to old money blonde. But it's like pretty much the exact same thing. And I think this shift in perspective is a big piece of it. And people just realizing you don't need to be spending a lot of money on, you know, things like that. And also I feel like this ties into the topic of underconsumption, which like I want to talk about, which is just like purchasing less for your spending habits, also for the environment. There's so many reasons. But we can tap into that in a little bit, but I want to talk about a really pressing issue. And it kind of, we're verging into the on the rocks section right now. This is kind of between trending and on the rocks because it's a little bit of both, but we need to talk about TikTok. This is the elephant in the room.
Literally.
Okay, TikTok, everybody knows how I feel about TikTok. I love it. I bring it up in every single episode. TikTok is getting banned.
In the US.
In the US. Yeah,
in
sorry,
4
not
days
in Canada.
apparently.
In 4 days. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. How do you feel?
So, I mean, like, I'm the type of person where it's like, I'll believe it when I see it type thing. I think the States has really done like the boy who cried wolf in this situation. Like, I don't know if I believe it. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, they've done it like 3 times now or something like that. Being like, yeah, it's banned. It's going to get banned. Blah, 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 blah. And everyone's like running around with their heads cut off like a chicken. But it's like, is it actually going to be? And for me, if it does get banned, I see a lot of people like, oh, it's like Canadian creators' time to shine now. It's other creators' time to shine now. Who's going to be the next like big creator aside from like all these big US ones? And it's like, if we're realistically looking at it, I think if it is a downfall within the States, like it's going to become a downfall everywhere. So I don't know. To me, I think it would impact everybody, not just the US.
I mean, just from a personal perspective, like I'm a creator on TikTok. Obviously, I have over 400,000 followers.
Yeah.
And people are saying, oh, well, you're good. You're a Canadian. No, I'm not good because the majority of my audience is based in the US. When I'm getting brand deals as a creator here in Canada, they're often targeted at the US.
Exactly.
And so all of a sudden, I'm losing 60% of my audience, you know, all of these brand deals that I was getting to target the US, I'm probably not going to be getting those anymore. And yeah, I know there's going to be a shift and like, we don't know how it's going to change if it does get banned, which right now we're not 100% sure. I know there was a bill filed to try to move it 270 days down the road and make the decision then or something like that. But I feel like it's a really big deal either way. And I'm so curious to see what's going to happen next, because I personally don't think you can just eliminate TikTok and it's just going to be gone. Nothing's going to replace it. Like, that's not how.
I know, because like I was actually sitting at home thinking about it today, actually while I was at the gym, and I was like, honestly, I'm not the one to like scroll Facebook videos, YouTube shorts. I sometimes look at Instagram reels, but not the way I overlook TikTok. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I doom scroll that shit for hours.
The vibe is just different on TikTok. Like, the vibe on TikTok is, it's funny, it's like positive, it's got engaging narratives. You get to like learn to know people. Whereas I feel like on Reels or other platforms like maybe YouTube Shorts, for example, you don't get to feel as connected with the creator. Like, you're just seeing a piece of content, or like it's not prioritizing a positive narrative. Like, it's like hate speech or something along those lines. You know,
like I find that when you try to like post those kind of videos on Instagram, the ones that you sometimes bring over, like, yeah, they're gonna pop off on TikTok, but they like don't do well on Instagram. And to me, like, I love Instagram and I've always been a fan of Instagram, but Instagram is very aesthetic, if that makes sense. And TikTok is messy in a good way, and bad, but
yeah, I'm gonna miss the mess of TikTok if it gets deleted. But speaking of messy, everybody is moving. All of these US creators are now moving from TikTok to Rednote, which is a Chinese app, because obviously TikTok is owned by ByteDance, which is a Chinese-owned company, and that's why it's trying to get banned in the US. Everybody's deciding, you know what? We're just going to go straight to the Chinese app, and we're going to get Rednote, and people are learning Mandarin.
Bro, people have been doing lives on TikTok teaching Mandarin. This is the funniest thing ever.
It's hilarious. Apparently, it's the #1 downloaded app right now in the App Store.
It actually has, if I look at it right now, because I downloaded it in case or whatever. You never know. Maybe that's, when you remember when like TikTok first came and people never really like jumped to it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been the ones to have jumped to it, but like it has 53K reviews and it's like 5 stars.
That's amazing.
And you know what's crazy? TikTok's right under it. Although it has 1.3 million reviews, it doesn't have a full 5 stars.
This is so funny. This is messy, though.
Yeah, 4.9 stars, and TikTok has 4.6.
That is so funny.
Already. That's crazy. But yeah, it's #1 social networking.
I don't even have words for it. It's just so hard to comprehend, because so many people like me, or even like you, or I have so many friends who are based in the US. Like, we're just Canadians who are being affected by it. But I have friends in the US who their full-time job is only TikTok. They get paid from the creator fund.
Yeah.
Now what?
Well, yeah, this one creator that I follow, I don't know how many brand deals she actually does, because I never really see a lot that she posts unless her stuff is more targeted on YouTube, because she does do long form content as well. But she truly is like one of my favorite creators. And someone estimated that she for sure makes like 30K a month just from the creator fund.
That's insane.
And now imagine losing that.
I can't imagine. That's going to be such, I don't know.
It's going to be a downfall in their economy as well, because now for people who did rely on that, a bunch of people are going to now have to, if it happens, have to go find, not all of them, but, find more jobs or like another job. And it's like, but if all these people now are trying to like find more jobs, well, how many jobs are actually available, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyways, let's move on to the next topic. So that's a lot of drama, and we could talk a lot about TikTok. And in a week, I'm really interested to see what we're going to be talking about and see if it gets banned, because we're going to be chatting again in a week, and I want to know what's going to happen.
Literally. I'm excited, not going to lie.
I'm excited. The drama continues. So I will keep you updated on the status of this. But speaking of drama, you have some drama that you want to share?
Yeah, so I'm not going to get like right into the nitty gritty of it, but there was like a situation that happened at the beginning of 2024 for me where I will fully say right here, in case these people listen, I fucked up in one of the situations with this one person, a boy, okay? I fucked up. I fully admitted to it. To him, I apologized for everything that I did, and his friends still did not want anything to do with me.
Can I ask what happened?
Yeah. So, do you not actually not know?
I don't think I do.
Okay, so I kind of like flip-flopped between my ex and this new boy that I started talking to, which was not cool on my end. And that was one of the things that I did that had really hurt this guy. And I hate myself for it. And another thing too was we were on this like creators retreat. And I also did some things that he did not like. I didn't realize it until he brought it to my attention of like, I was kind of overstepping with my jokes. And again, I didn't realize that until he brought it to my attention. I apologized. I took full accountability for it. And his friends, like at the end of the day, what happened between me and him was between me and him. It wasn't between our mutual friend group. The thing is, I was friends with these people before me and this guy started like hitting it off. Mm-hmm. And the way I was treated afterwards, they were bullying me in group chats. Like, it just, like, wasn't cool. And I wasn't happy with the outcome. And so, but after that weekend, me and the guy were fine. And two of the people in the friend group texted me and they're like, we don't want anything to do with you. Started bringing up things that I had personally shared in that setting and kind of used it against me.
Oh.
And I was just like, that didn't sit right with me. However, when they texted me, I was just like, okay, I respect your choice. Mm-hmm. And that's all I left it at. We were still in like the mutual group chats, and, they were saying awful, like one of them was like saying awful things, like not directly to me, but were making comments that were directly to me. Mm-hmm. And again, didn't say anything. And I kind of left it at that. I then, left for Costa Rica in March with like one of my best friends, had a very like healing journey. And I came back and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to like have a conversation with one of them, the girl. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, like, hope you're doing well. I want to let you know, like, I don't have any animosity towards you. However, like, I would like to sit down and have a conversation about like what happened. One, for me to know where if I went wrong in any situation besides the fact with the boy. Mm-hmm. And for you to also know things as well. And she texted me back saying, nope, I don't need to have a conversation. So I was like, okay, no conversation needs to be had then. I wasn't going to get in my panties about it, and I moved on. Mm-hmm. Well, fast forward to the beginning of December. I had moved to a new area. I started going to I've always been like going to this coffee shop since I moved to this area since August. Twice now I had seen her and her partner there. No words exchanged, just I saw them, no hi, hello, smile, anything like that. Mm-hmm. And this one day, she was there by herself. I was there. And she comes up to me and asks if we could have a conversation outside. And I was like, oh, like, okay. And she's basically like, I want to like let you know, like, I want to clear the air that I have no animosity towards you. Like, I don't hate you. And like, now that I see you here, like, I had this calling that I should talk to you. And like if you want to have a conversation, like I'm open to hearing it, on where I could do better in future friendships. And she's like, I just want to be able to see you in public and say like hi and smile and ask how you're doing. And well, one, I'm thrown off guard. Like I really didn't know what to say. And I felt like I was just like couldn't speak at the moment.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, for one, like I appreciate you, like wanting to talk to me. However, like at this very moment, I was also going through like a bunch of other personal stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, I don't even know what I could say right now. So I was like, at this moment, like I can't just like have a conversation with you. But two, like I did try having this conversation with you months ago and you didn't want to. And I kind of left it at that. I didn't, get upset about it. I had to like tell myself, I'm like, sometimes people just don't want to have a conversation and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But I said to her, I was like, but if I'm ready, like I will reach back out to you.
Yeah.
2 weeks go by, with my best friend again, who gives me so much clarity in life because we spent her 30th in Mexico. I come back and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm good to like sit down and have a mature conversation about this, not to like necessarily like go at it with each other, but just to like really get that full closure. I think that like both of us need, even though we've like moved on from this situation, but just for like the air to fully be cleared and to there not be that awkward tension if we do see each other in public. Mm-hmm. So I reach out to her and then saying all this and I'm like, whenever you want to like sit down and have a conversation, like let me know. Well, now she's going back on what she said. She's like, oh, I don't think that's actually like what I meant. I meant like in that moment right there. And I was like, okay, well in that moment right there, like I don't even know what to say. you know, when you pull me to the side, like I can't even process things, you know?
Because were you planning on seeing her that day at all? Like, did you know she'd be there, or it was just
No,
kind
it's
of out
just
of the
like, it's
blue?
just like random when I see them there, you know?
Okay.
Because like I didn't even think they lived in that area.
Mm.
Yeah, like for me, it's like a 2-minute walk to get there. And so like, yeah, like I've never planned on like ever having a conversation with her because she told me no conversation needed to be had. So I was leaving it at that. And now she was like doing this whole back and forth of like, okay, well, yeah, we can have a conversation. And I was like, okay, like cool. Like when do you want to meet up to have this conversation? She's like, oh, well, like I just don't want to like bring up like old feelings and problems. You know, it's been like a year now. Like I just don't think it needs to be done. Like I just want the air to be cleared and to like move forward. And you know, like I understand that. However, the way I move forward in things isn't the same way I clearly moves forward in things, because I can't just be all friendly with you now knowing how you treated me. And if I treated you a certain way, I want to know that so I can even work on myself in future friendships, you know?
Yeah.
So I haven't responded back to her yet because I ended up typing out this message of basically being like, it is a little selfish that you're wanting this on your terms and not us mutually meeting in the middle with terms. And I also kind of like fully let out everything that I had been feeling over the years or the last couple months or whatever. And I sent it to my best friend and I was like, hey, what do you think? And she's like, okay, well, it sounds a little grudgy. And I was like, okay. She's like, sit on it for a few days, see how you feel. But she's like, it probably felt really good to let that out. And honestly, it did. It felt so good to let that out. Do I need to say everything to her that I said there? Probably not. But there are points that like I think she deserves to know. So that is my on the rocks.
Yeah. So I have some questions for you about this.
Of course.
So is this somebody who you're wanting to have a relationship with in the future or
no? See, I also texted her back when I first texted her and I was like, I don't have any expectations. Like I'm not asking us for to be best friends again, hang out, all this, blah, 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 blah. But it's just like so that we're on mutual terms. We live in the same city. We're both creators, different niches.
Yeah.
But there is a chance that we could be in a social setting, you know? And I noticed that like some of my mutuals do follow her on certain things, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know how I feel about that. However, I am trying to manifest this boy back into my life now, the one I like accidentally hurt.
Oh, do you think there's any chance?
I don't know. I've been like liking his stuff on Instagram and like viewing his stories. What a loser of me to do that. But I mean, I like my friends like will text him in like a month or two and be like, hey, I've been thinking about you. Because like I even saw he was here in Calgary like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I kept seeing him at the coffee shop, the one that they go to as well. Yeah. No one said a word to me, but like if he would have been by himself, I would have mustered up the courage to like, hey, how's it going type thing, you know? But I don't know. Maybe I'm just like delusional at the same time. So
can I offer my opinion?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I feel like with this girl, like obviously there's not closure in this situation, which is hard for both sides. Especially when there's unsaid things and like you feel like on probably both sides there's more that could have been said or shared.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like if you're not actively pursuing a friendship or you're not going to be seeing this person all the time and you and her are able to get past it without having this conversation, like, you know, moving forward, it's not going to wreck your life by not getting everything out.
Yeah.
I think that it's okay not to have that closure.
And I mean, like, to me, like, that's where it kind of was left off. Is like, okay, well, clearly I'm not going to get the closure I want, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be nice to you now.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I don't need to wave and smile at you. I don't need you to come ask me how I'm doing because realistically, I don't want you to know that.
Yeah, I feel like if this was somebody that you were going to be seeing a lot of and you're going to be spending time with, even if it wasn't like one-on-one, but they were in your friend group and you're still going to be seeing them all the time, I do think it would be beneficial to have that conversation and just even put it out there. Like, obviously, it's like you don't want to have this conversation right now. I'm putting it out there. Like, we haven't been able to meet, but like, I just want to throw it out there. Like, in the future, I still would love to have a talk at some point. and then you were able to do that and you guys were able to come together and have a chat, like I think that would be probably good just for your
100%.
own clarity
Well,
and
it's
hers.
like I couldn't see myself being just like civil with her. Like that's the thing. Like I could see myself being civil with her, you know, like if like saw each other pop up on social media and, you know, had questions about something or advice on something, you know what I mean? Like not necessarily being like BFFs, but like an acquaintance type vibe.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that. But I need this level of like clearing the air to like be cleared.
Well, I think it's good of you to reach out, have that conversation, and whatever you're feeling, just put it out there and just be like, if you're not past it, just like let her know.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'd still love to chat. But either way, I hope it works out for you. And I hope it works out with this guy that you're sending texts to. I actually have another story I want to like bring up about sending texts to an ex or like very similar situation. Not similar at the same time. It's quite different. It's quite different. But it has to do with texting somebody from your past ish. It's a odd topic, right? Like I feel like I'm not texting my exes all the time or anything like that. But you said liking photos specifically. So there's this story that this one woman on TikTok came forward with, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I need your opinion. And I'm gonna share it with you, and I want to hear your take on this.
Okay.
So there's this woman, and she was dating a guy, and they ended up breaking up. She claims that he wasn't very nice to her. They had this long-term relationship, didn't work out, okay? She's past it. She's like, whatever, it's all good. She still like checks in every now and then, you know, like creeps, don't we all? 100%. We've chatted about this before. But she said her ex-boyfriend, quite a while later, hard launches his new girlfriend. He has a new girlfriend. They start posting. 4 weeks ago, he has launched his new girlfriend. So she's like creeping her page and checks her out, whatever, doesn't think too much of it. On a Saturday night at 2 a.m., she notices that the girlfriend has liked one of her old photos. So she's thinking, oh no, this poor woman, she's out drinking or something. She's like not in her right mind, and she accidentally liked one of my old photos while like giving me a creep, you know?
Yeah.
Right? But then nothing happens. She doesn't like call her out or anything. She's like, that's embarrassing. A week later, Saturday at 2 a.m., same thing happens. She gets another like from this ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend on an old photo. And she's like, that's weird. 2 weeks in a row? Whatever. Next weekend, same thing. Saturday night, 2 a.m., this girlfriend likes an old photo of hers. So now she's like, what is going on? Like, is she trying to send me a message? Is she just getting drunk every Saturday night and sloppily creeping? Like, what is going on? 4th week, same thing. Happens again. Between 1 and 2 a.m., she gets a like on one of her old photos on Instagram. Now, at this point, she's like, what is going on? Like, do I reach out to this girl? Like, is she trying to send me a message? Or do I just let it be? Like, is this her way of trying to, like, reach out to me without being weird?
Yeah.
Or like there are all these different theories about what could be happening. You know, like obviously there's the first theory. She's going to the bar. She's with her friends. They're like scrolling. Somebody accidentally likes the photo, whatever. It's not a big deal. But the fact that it's happened 4 weeks in a row. Second theory, this girl is trying to send her Morse code or something.
Like girls.
Like, hey girl, I'm trying to like get you to reach out to me without me being the first person to reach out to you. Like, do I reach out to her? Another theory. Maybe her ex-boyfriend has her blocked because they didn't end on good terms, and he is the one creeping from his girlfriend's phone.
Yeah.
Trying to like, what do you think?
I don't know. It's definitely not the like getting drunk with your girlfriends and looking at the thing, because for me, if I've accidentally like done that, I unlike the photo right away, and then there's like no notification.
Yeah.
You know? So
I agree with that, because like I feel like there's been times where like I've been with my friends and drinking and creeping, and somebody's liked somebody's old photo, and even if it like wasn't noticed, and then in the group chat the next morning, like, who liked this person's photo? Like I had to unlike it this morning. Like I feel like it almost always, even the next day, you'll figure it out. Like you'll see it in your search history. You know?
I think
like,
she's like creeping, and I think the girl's creeping, to be honest, because you know what? I still creep like exes like new girlfriends or whatever. And it's not that because like, oh, I'm so heartbroken. I'm just like genuinely curious. Like, when are you guys getting married? You know what I mean? Like, I want to know the tea.
Yeah.
It's for the plot.
But you think she's like liking these photos on purpose?
I think it's trying to send some sort of message.
Yeah, because like one of my first thoughts, if I saw this happening to me, this is what I would think. And maybe I'm like delusional, but like if I was with a crappy ex, like I feel like he's not probably changing right away, you know? Like, yeah, he's got a new girlfriend, but I know who he is. Like, he's probably going to be a crappy person to her as well. And, like, I feel like maybe she's trying to send a message to this new girlfriend, like, hey, girl, like, reach out to me. I have some questions. You know, like, I like, maybe he's not treating this new girlfriend right.
Yeah.
And, like, wants to, like, get the tea. Or, I don't know. That's kind of, like, my vibe. Like, if I saw that one of these girls... I think what I would do, actually, now that I'm thinking it through, I would hit her with a follow. Like, I would follow her as, like, a gesture to be like, I see you. Yeah, like, I see what you're doing. So it's not, like, as creepy. It's like...
Wait, I have something that can piggyback off of this.
What?
Finish what you're saying.
No, I think that's what I do. And then I would let it go from there. See if she follows me back and then see if somebody reaches out. Because I feel like once you get the follow, it's, like... affirming everything that you've been wondering, but like,
wait, is there an end to this story? Like, did you find out the truth
this
yet?
is where it left off.
Oh fuck. Well, Kate, I'm kind of having the same situation kind of happen right now, to be honest.
What do you mean?
Okay, there's this one girl in the creative community who like watches my stories, but not just like all the time when stuff's going on, because she's friends with my ex, and like when he became friends with her and we had like broken up, I had never noticed anything, and then we get back together, and all of a sudden I'm looking at who's watching my stuff, and she's watching my stuff like every day. And I'm like, the fuck? And then it stops for a while, and like she even stopped talking to him when she saw that we were back together.
Okay.
For like 2 weeks. And then now again, within the last couple weeks, like within the last like 3-ish weeks, she's been watching my stuff again, and she doesn't follow me. And I'm like, just give me the follow already. Like, you know what I mean? But I don't, like, I'm being stubborn. I'm like, well, I'm not going to follow her first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't creep her. I've never crept her. I think I've crept her, like, maybe once or twice.
Okay.
When, like, my ex, like, said that they, like, were friends. And, like, to me, I didn't, like, really care because she's in a relationship. But I was just like, why are you creeping me so hard?
I feel like, yeah, it is a little weird.
But that's why I was like, I have something to piggyback off of, because to me it's just like kind of weird.
Hit her with a follow, see what happens.
Bro, no, I don't want to follow first.
Do a follow, unfollow, like one of her old photos at 2 a.m. on a Saturday. And repeat it until something happens. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you guys let me know if you are listening to this story what you think, because I'm so curious what's going on. And if I get an update, I'm going to update you because I'm invested. Oh, unless this girl, she's from the U.S. Hopefully she can update us.
Oh, is this a TikTok story?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She better post an update soon then.
Yeah, for real. But anyways, that is what we've got for our On the Rocks stories today. We could do more, but I think we should just put them in a new podcast because we've got so many things to talk about.
Literally. I could yap for hours.
Yeah, we had written down like this huge list of things, and I feel like we haven't even hit like half of them really, because there's just so much to talk about and so much to catch up on from since I've been gone.
Literally.
So we're going to. But we're going to move into the shaken, not stirred section of the podcast. And this is where we each share one thing that shook us. Simply like one thing that's just, we're like, whoa. And I want you to share yours, Colby.
Okay. So when I was getting my free diving certification in Indonesia, we were with a course or whatever, and the instructors, you know, were talking about like breathing and techniques, and like even like some animals that like breathe, like their breathing techniques when living in the water. And I found out, this is like the coolest fact ever, but like hippos and whales are part of the same family. Kind of like how like lions and cats are part of the same family. Hippos and whales are part of the same family.
What?
And like, okay, I'm gonna like mix it up of like the evolution. But apparently it was like when the like ice age type thing happened or whatever, like whales adapted to the land, and that's when they got legs and became hippos.
Is this for real?
Bro, yeah.
How come hippos don't have blowholes?
Because of like the adaptation
Yeah.
or whatever, you know, like it's kind of
Evolution.
like snakes and like lizards and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and like those things are like also considered like dinosaurs as well, you know? So yeah, and then like when the ice age then finished, like a lot stayed on land, and then the rest like went back to like the ocean type thing.
I'm gonna Google this later.
Bro, no, I don't think they would. If they lied to me, I'd actually be
imagine?
so upset. But no, apparently it's actually like a thing that they're part of the same family.
That is so cool.
Right?
I love hippos. Have you seen all these like videos of Mudang? This like Thai Mudang? You know You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my god, you have to search it up. Mudang is this baby hippo that just is really hilarious and cute.
Is
from
it like
Thailand.
a real hippo?
Yeah, it's a real hippo.
Okay.
That like I don't know, it's just like always wet and slippery and angry. And
I don't know how I feel about that verbiage.
Yeah, true, I guess. I take it back. Oh, but my shaken not stirred topic, total 180 here. We're talking about something completely different. I want to talk about cups of tea and how they may be able to make you feel less lonely. So, do you enjoy tea? Are you a tea drinker?
I have become a tea drinker, actually.
What's your favorite kind?
Honestly, lemon ginger. I
Mm.
don't know why.
I'm a big peppermint tea girl, but I crave tea when I'm obviously cold.
Yeah.
But like when I'm like kind of lonely, sometimes I'll go and get a cup of tea and I'll just like sit in my room with a cup of tea and watch some TV. Do you ever do that?
I mean, honestly, I'll either like drink tea like kind of like at nighttime because there's no caffeine in it. And if I want something like warm.
Okay, well, I want to talk about tea because apparently there are studies to suggest that tea can make you feel less lonely. So apparently our core temperatures affects how our interpersonal relationships play out. And so when we are surrounded by people and when humans are interacting with lots of people or have a very vibrant social life, their core temperature is generally higher than if they were in isolation or spending time by themselves.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, your core temperature drops a little bit. And that can correlate with, like, your core temperature can correlate with, obviously, if you're with people, without people, and how you feel about that situation. But when you are drinking lots of tea, you're gravitating towards something warm. You're trying to soothe your soul in a sense, but you're trying to heat up your core temperature.
Yeah.
And subconsciously, even if you don't think about it, it's such a small amount, like it happens not even consciously, but your brain can interpret yourself as being less lonely when you're with a cup of tea, because it's kind of like a warm hug or like a little hit to the soul, feeling like you're not as alone.
Well,
But if
I
you're
feel like I live alone, so maybe I need to drink tea more often.
yeah, so if you're ever feeling really lonely, it might not be a perfect fix, but maybe consider making yourself a cup of tea. And that kind of shook me. I thought that was really cool.
I kind of like that. Instead of like gonna just like sleep with random people, just go drink a cup of tea. That's just sound, honestly, as someone who's like such a homebody when they're not traveling, rather do that.
You just need a hot drink. Honestly, I feel like it could probably be the same with coffee, but tea is very popular, so.
Some tea has caffeine in it, but like a lot of it is like not caffeinated. And I feel like the time we feel loneliest is like at night.
True. But we're going to move into the very last section of our podcast today. We're getting to the end. And this is the bottoms up section. This is where we talk about everything that we are obsessed with, what we're consuming, what we can't get enough of. And oh my gosh, I was looking through my list of topics because I've been keeping a list of topics over the last like 6 months since I've really been releasing episodes. And I have a million things I could talk about. I'm obsessed with so many things right now. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about was a topic that I had seen a man talking about, but I just absolutely loved it. And I wanted to share it because we're on the topic of loneliness and feeling connected with other people and things you can do. And it is called the Wednesday Waffle. So the Wednesday Waffle was introduced by a guy on TikTok. His name is Stay in School. That's his handle, I guess, not his name. But he was talking about how every single Wednesday he has a group chat with his guy friends. And no matter where they are in the world or what they're doing, they will send a voice note just updating on their life and their last week. And so it doesn't need to be like a group call where everything is live and you need to coordinate with like the same time every day. But every week, he and the boys all sends a voice note just updating on their lives, what's new. And it gives everybody like this sense of connectedness and community. And it's just a good way, he said, to keep up relationships, even though knowing everybody's busy and got different things going on, because then that way they're still staying in touch.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just so sweet and valuable to anybody listening. If you are looking for a way to stay connected with your friends and maybe you don't have the capacity to be texting them back and forth all week long, or you can't find a time to all hop on a call together, just like send a voice note updating your life, like schedule it in. Be like, on Wednesday, I'm going to send my Wednesday Waffle where I talk about what's going on in my life.
I'm definitely like if I can't get on the phone with someone, and you know this, I'm such a voice notes girly. Like I send them all the time.
Yeah, I'm that way too. I really struggle to respond to people text wise.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably the worst responder on earth, like ever to exist in all humans ever. I have text messages I probably haven't responded to from 7th grade, but like they're never gonna get responded to. But I will send a voice message. Actually, I prefer to call, but like if you can't answer, I love the voice message. I love that you send them. I think that they're great. It makes you feel more connected to that person, in my opinion.
When you can, especially if it's like a serious conversation or like a heated conversation, you can actually hear the tone of voice. Because like for me, if I'm reading like a heated text message, they probably aren't actually saying it heated, but that's the way I'm reading it. However, if I hear the way their tone of voice is, it totally changes your perspective on like how they're trying to perceive what they're saying.
Yeah,
So
it's like
that.
you're not gonna like misinterpret it by reading the text, like the tone wrong, because you can hear him say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just loved it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's a great idea. I kind of want to start one with my friends. And so what are you obsessed with though?
Okay, this is like totally opposite end of like yours is so positive and mine is just like not. But I like recently got out of a relationship in September, and right now I'm kind of obsessed with being a little toxic / like overly convincing people to do things. Like I don't know why. I mean, like I've been told I'm very good at convincing people to do things, big or small, but like I don't know, just being like a little toxic towards certain situations and like convincing people to do things.
Like give examples.
Okay, so like one example I could give is like me and my girlfriend went shopping and I was like, bro, you should buy these shoes. And she's like, I don't know, like I don't know if I'd wear them often. I'm like, no, bro, but like they're so cute. They're the perfect fall shoe. You're not going to be upset about the purchase. And to this day, she's like, I'm so happy you convinced me to buy those shoes. Like that's
okay, but that's not being toxic.
But that's like the overly convincing.
Okay.
Like because she's like, I don't really have the money for it. I'm like, no, just spend it. But the one where it's like a little like toxic, overly convincing is like I had just became I was social media friends with this person, and they were visiting Calgary. And I saw that he posted that he wanted to like hang out with some people before he left, and he was leaving on like the Monday. We hung out on the Sunday, and when we went out for like a couple like cocktails or whatever. I had some wine, he had like a couple cocktails, and I ended up convincing him to miss his flight to stay another week.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone, literally his friends are like, how the hell did she convince you to do that? And I mean, he had a little bit of alcohol in him, which is like, for anyone, it's not that hard to convince people when you have a little alcohol in them. But like, I had just met that guy that night, and I had convinced him to stay another week.
Night.
Bro, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What did you have to do to convince him?
Bro, I literally did nothing. He was like, well, keep me busy this entire week then with like stuff to do. I'm like, okay, let's go to the mountains, let's shoot content, let's like hang out with you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I kept him busy. But like, yeah, no, he's just been like someone that's been like very easy to talk to, and I'm happy that like we have become friends.
Aw, that's really sweet.
He's
I'm happy for
sweet
you.
Human. But yeah, that's, I don't know. I've been able to just be a little toxic lately, which is so bad, but whatever.
Oh my, you're crazy.
You know.
You're crazy, girl. But we are nearing the end of our podcast. So I just wanted to say, Colby, thank you for coming on. It was lovely to have you on another episode, and I'm sure there will be many more.
Obviously, I love coming on and just yapping away. I mean, I definitely could probably just yap for more and longer times.
Yeah, we were saying instead of calling this Chappy Hour, we should call it Yappy Hour.
Literally.
Oh. But for everybody else who's still listening, I just wanted to extend the biggest thank you to every single one of you. I said this at the beginning, but I'll repeat it again. I am thrilled to be back for 2025, and I am just so excited about the future of this podcast, and specifically for you guys sticking around and listening to me. You guys literally make this so fun for me. I love it. I'm sending you guys all my love. And also, I just wanted to say, I'm at 47 5-star reviews on Spotify.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, 47, which is like literally mind-blowing to me. Insane. So if you have left me a 5-star review, thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And if you haven't left me a 5-star review, I'm almost at 50. So you don't have to, but you know, it would make me smile. So that could be your act of kindness today. If you're listening, you know who you are.
Literally.
Anyways, thank you everybody for listening to this episode. I'll be back again soon, and we'll have lots of updates for you because I feel like a lot of the things we chatted about today, we have to update you on.
Literally.
But until next time, cheers!